We just come from a place from our country, so we don't have the same amount of opportunities. We just come here and we just want to eat it all. The way that are gonna save more energy, are gonna keep longer, but putting all the three together for like 3 good hours working out.
Water Buffalo TM is back with another Buff Talk.
3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Old School Matt here. We're back with another Buff Talk. Today, we're joined by our boy, Mike DeCrisio, a.k.a. Mike's Workouts on Instagram, a personal trainer over at Resilient Fitness, a close friend of mine, and now a training partner of mine in this triathlon we're doing. Without further ado, what's going on, Mike? How you been, bro? How's everything?
Thank you, Matt. Let's just start saying thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have Mike here. We've been wanting to have him on the podcast for a little while, and we've talked about doing something like this for a little bit, and we've trained before, but we kind of started getting into training together just the new year, and we wanted to do a triathlon. I had set out to do a marathon this year, still trying to do that, and Mike has aspirations of doing Ironman at some point, doing a half Ironman this year if he can. And we just started running together, and now we're kind of getting into his training routine, this last 6-week type of rush sort of routine. But I'm excited. And what do you think, bro? How do you feel? Are you ready for the stuff to come? And what are you thinking about it?
Man, I think I'm ready. It's just, for sure, it's going to be a challenge. I mean, it's something very new. It's going to be the first triathlon as you are. But I think we're gonna be good. We have tried all of the events already, like a bike, swimming, running. We have enough time, like a good 6 week.
100%. I'm thinking that when it gets down to the day, like the training and all that stuff's gonna be great. But like I've been watching some stuff, and this is obviously something really new that we're doing. At least for me, I know you've been doing more, long distance type of training, and you've been doing swimming and whatnot, and your dad does triathlons, but this is something new to me completely, other than the running thing. But I think the day of the triathlon, like the adrenaline and the feeling of because I've heard, dude, it's like crazy because everyone goes at, I think the swim, everyone goes at once.
Yeah, everybody goes at once. I think they divide it by little groups depending on the category that you are. But yeah, it's going to be groups like 20, 30 people at the same time,
Yeah. And then eventually with the skills and shit, like even if we're going in the middle, people from behind are going to be fucking on our ass.
Catching up.
And sure. I've heard that's an experience.
Get some bits and stuff, trying to.
No, I mean, I was looking up the stuff about swimming, and that's what was kind of because honestly for me, dude, the bike, I know it's hard, and I'm not trying to talk down on biking, but that seems easy to me. The runs we've been doing already, I mean, bro, we could do it 3 times in a row.
Yeah, no, we kill it, man.
But what were you gonna say?
I think we just have to take it a little easier on the bike. I mean, for sure it's gonna be the easiest part, but we shouldn't burn out on the bike, going, I'm gonna just try to rush it and got a really good time on the bike.
But yeah, no, what I was gonna say is that the swim is what really intrigues me, and we went to the pool for the first time the other day, and we were swimming back and forth and doing some stuff, and it's incredible that just doing 100 meters, which is one time there, one time back, one time there, one time back, put me in a state of I was so tired, and it's a different type of tired. It's not after leg day you're your body hurts. It's more of just fatigue in terms of I just physically can't do it anymore without almost panicking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just see it completely different. It's something that you're not used to. So yeah, being on the water, just taking very short amount of breath all the time. Yeah. And
Mike was showing me the ropes to the basics of swimming, and it's so different because everything we do in terms of workouts and this is, it's jumping into a whole new field of fitness, and this is kind of what I wanted to talk about on this podcast. Also talk a little bit to Mike and just kind of shoot the shit. But when you really dive into a new part of fitness and something part of this journey that we call our fitness journey, it's really interesting. It's fun. You, like I said, you already swam, you've done that stuff before. But for us, or for me, who's really into weightlifting, I'm sure you do it too, you're a personal trainer, kind of jumping into this field, it's almost exciting, and it's almost like you're starting over in terms of learning the gym again. You know what I mean?
100%, man. I just take it as a new challenge. So part of my goal of trying to one day do an Ironman, it just add that little factor. Is always trying to do something new, something different, something that improve, your quality in the gym, everything. Just take the challenge.
Yeah, 100%. I think that for the most part, when doing something like this, it's cool because I don't know, when you first started lifting weights and you first started getting into the gym, there's like little tricks you learn, and like, you know, like doing supersets and fucking taking this supplement and fucking, I don't know, like using this bar for this exercise. I'm kind of like, as I start to do the running more, as I start to do the swimming more, I'm starting to kind of understand those movements too. Like this just simple shit, like you're telling me don't slap the water, you know, kind of, you know, have, and learning the form and getting in that rhythm. And even with running too, like learning my foot placement, learning how to adjust I don't know if you do this, but when I run, I try to adjust the type of foot placement I do when my legs get tired. So sometimes I focus on my glutes, sometimes I focus on my calves, and then my quads, especially if I'm starting to do like longer distances. And just little tricks like this, like in the gym, we do the same shit. Like one day, you know, we're hitting biceps and we're like, fuck it, let's do, you know, turn the arms a little bit, or let's, you know, hold at the bottom for a couple seconds. And it's all really intricate, and it's interesting because and he runs without music, so it's even more difficult. But when you do shit like this, it's like, it takes fitness to a whole nother level, because there's only so much you can do inside the gym in terms of lifting weights. At some point it gets kind of boring, and that's why I've adopted other things. Like I tried to do powerlifting last year. I box a lot, and just like adopting this part of your kind of like your fitness journey, your portfolio, almost like your resume. It's really interesting and really fun. What do you think about that?
No, the same. What did you said about the running? It's just, it happened to me too. Just trying to always figure it out, what's gonna be the best way, what's gonna be the way that I'm gonna save more energy, I'm gonna keep longer. I actually have that problem just because I try to. I usually strike with my heels, and that's just get my chin burning.
Yeah.
So I have to start modifying that. That's why I was using the tape on the chin the other day, just to try to protect the foot a little bit. But that's something that I'm trying to modify for sure.
What do you think? For you, what do you think is the most difficult part of this triathlon we're trying to get into?
I don't see none of the three parts as hard. I think it's just gonna be the whole
thing. It's gonna be
the whole thing put together. I think I'm pretty good, like individually on all three. Not really good, but I can handle it. But putting all the three together for like 3 good hours working out, that's tough. That's gonna be the tough part.
And not to like discredit anyone else, but when I see some of the people that do the Ironmans and see like and this is not to discredit anyone, but I see a woman doing it, I'm like amazed, bro. Like I see one of my friends coaches for like gymnastics or something, she did an Ironman, and I was like so astonished. I was like, how did this woman who's like in good shape do this? Because like an Ironman to me, dude, that seems like next level. Like this triathlon is like, obviously it's in reach with what we can do physically, but to think like I would have to do this 4 times in a row like blows my fucking mind. You know what I mean? Like I don't know about you, but like to do what we're doing in a month and a half, like, and then say, okay, you did your first lap, let's do that 3 or 4, 3 times in a row. More than that in certain areas, it just blows my mind. And I see people and I'm just like, at some point I think at some point it's not just physical, it's obviously mental too.
Yeah, it just has everything. I mean, everything that you take, it's physical, the gym, swimming, everything. It's always gonna have a like mental aspects involved to it. But yeah, I mean, bro, Ironman is just whole another level of. But yeah, I mean, there is some so inspiring stories. As you said, there is some girls doing it. I don't know if you saw the documentary the guy have some neurological problem and he just challenged through it and did the Ironman.
It's crazy, and I forgot about that too. But just like, because when you think like these crazy feats, I think my mind automatically goes to like a David Goggins or like a Nick Bear, right? Nick Bear.
Yeah, I know.
So I think guys like that, and I'm like, they're fucking jacked, and I'm like that I'm gonna get to that level one day. But then you see like there's some normal looking people that do these things and they do extremely well too. And you think see them and you're like, yeah, she's in good shape. But like to take it to that next level, to see like a mom or to see like, a guy I saw, there was a man in his 60s, I think, who is a Japanese guy or something like that who did it. And then the guy you're talking about, the documentary, who has a neurological condition.
Yeah.
It's like at some point the body can only take you so far. It's like the mind is what completes the fucking thing, because it's lunatic. Like, I'm like scared to swim 1 mile, but imagine having to do that. I think, what is it, 2.8 miles?
I think it's 2.8, and yeah, running a marathon, it's like 52, 112 miles in the bike. Yeah, miles. Man.
And that's like the bike is obviously very difficult, but to like even doing like thinking of doing a 1 mile swim is like, all right, that's like it's gonna be my limit of like, you know, trying to do that in a specific amount of time is going to be at my athletic limit. To go do that and then have to do it again, like continue going, like I'm only a little bit less than halfway there, it blows my mind. And it also blows my mind that people do that bike 112 miles because the bike is long. It's challenging, but the hard part is it's long. It's long. You know, they do I think 4 or 5 hours on the bike. So like swimming for I think 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah, I think the whole race is probably like about 12 hours.
Yeah, and finishing 15. Those two things and then going and doing a marathon. Is nuts. Like doing a marathon now would be very difficult. It'd be hard. But thinking about doing all that stuff before, it's just like, it's crazy. And there's so much shit you can get into in terms of like the diet and the supplementation these guys are taking, the training protocols. I'm sure you're going to do it one day. I'm going to do it one day too. But it's cool to think about it. And we're taking that next step into, we're doing that deep dive into doing the Olympic triathlon. And then hopefully at some point you're going to do a half Ironman. I'll probably do a half Ironman before I do a full Ironman. And then going into that, that accomplishment. Cause I think only a couple 100,000 people have ever done it. The Ironman.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me. It's just part of like 0.01% or
it's like
on Ironman.
It's like less than 0.01%. So like
that's part of the beauty of doing that kind of race. And that after you kind of like accomplishes have that little that little trophy, like not that many people can reach to these levels of the mind, the physical aspect at the same time. So.
Yeah, it's exciting. And like you're saying, there's the cool thing about this, and it's really cool because like we were talking about, I've seen some moms do it, I've seen some older people do it, and I've seen, like the guy you were saying, the documentary, anyone can really do it. It just depends on if you want to put the effort into doing it. Like when we go see like bodybuilders or, NFL players or basketball players, like a lot of them have genetic gifts that kind of get them there. Like obviously there's certain people that make it past that. But like, if we want to go play in the NBA, we can't do that shit. We're not tall enough, you know what I'm saying? If I wanted to go be a linebacker, I'm not big enough. If I want to be Mr. Olympia, I don't have the genetics to do that. And that's not making an excuse, just like it's the reality of things. But we don't have to have that to do something like an Ironman.
Like this, yeah.
And it really shocks me because like it's kind of like the UFC in a sense. The UFC is starting to get bigger and bigger now, so more people are starting to realize it. But one of the hardest sports, in my opinion, would be mixed martial arts and like these ultra marathons and stuff. But no one other than David Goggins and maybe some other influencers, no one really gives recognition to these people. But this is like, to do an Ironman is harder than any other sport. Yeah, in my opinion.
You're right. No, you're right. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have the same recognition of other sports, but. Just because I think it's just people see it as very simple. Oh, anybody can run, anybody can go on a bike, maybe anybody can, just swim, And that's probably why more, I would say, common people do it. You said a mom, just because they're just simple activities, like putting it all together in a challenge, for all that distance, keeping it consistent through all that time.
Is what
for sure it merits some recognition.
And that's the thing, like it's also has a time limitation. It's like 17 hours, I think.
It does have some time limitation. But I think we have 4 hours for the race that we have.
Yeah, 4.5 hours. But it's cool because it's a little bit challenging. Like thinking about it, you're like, yeah, it's mile swim's not too bad. A 24-mile bike is nothing crazy. A 5K or a 10K is not bad at all. But when we put it all together on race day, it's going to be like, real shit. But this is just the start. And that's what I'm saying. Like this is kind of like hitting 225 on the bench. When you first hit 225,
it takes you a while.
Where we're kind of expediting that process. But like that's that first little accomplishment. And then from there is like, all right, when am I going to hit 4 plates on the bench or like, doing some crazy shit. And it's cool because, I'm not like a pro bodybuilder or pro powerlifter, but I've done some good stuff in the gym, and I continue to keep doing that in the gym, and I continue to keep other areas of my life, and you as well. But this is cool because it makes things fresh again. I've been working out for 10, 11 years now, since I was young, and it's always, the weights are always going to be there, but something like this is just it's really excited me, and it really sparked another it motivated me to want to do more things and to fucking go train extra and to do like fucking runs on the weekends, and it's fun, dude. It's like almost like you're learning how to work out again.
No, yeah, exactly. It's just like starting over. That's part of where it's one of my challenges, just because I mean it's so solid. Just like looking for the new stuff that you're gonna do different, that you're gonna be better, you're gonna improve yourself, you're gonna improve your overall of what you said, kind of like the portfolio of the things that you do.
Yeah, for sure. I think Nick Bears, I'm not sure if it was Nick Bears or one of these ultra marathon type of guys. They're like, yeah, I'm not going to be the best in like, lifting weights, or I'm not going to be the best in boxing or whatever, fitness things you like to do. But if you're be really good at everything else, like that's super impressive. Like if I can, still lift the weights that I'm doing now, have a nice physique, but also I can do, fucking triathlons. I can, do powerlifting meets like that. To me, that's more of a goal than just, being the best bodybuilder I can be. Cause then like you're one dimensional. You don't have anything else to offer.
Yeah. I think for this type of athletes that we want to become, I think it's the best thing to approach is trying to become a really good overall athlete, on cardio-wise, running, doing that kind of thing, also lifting the weights. Kind of like what people already, it's calling like hybrid athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the best approach. It's going to give you a little more versatile type of, and I think it's even a little healthier.
Yeah, 100%.
Just focusing on only one thing.
100%. I mean, I have a lot of friends. I'm sure you have friends that they just like go to the gym and lift weights. But at some point, like one, it gets boring. And at another point, like it just, people just lift weights and never do cardio a day in their life. And you tell them to go fucking play football with you and they can barely run.
Oh, yeah, man. No, that was actually me at one point. Like I was big. I feel powerful, and I was looking good, but just like you make me run 100 meters, a mile, I was not gonna make it.
Exactly. You used to play soccer when you were younger?
I used to play soccer. I used to play tennis. So yeah.
Okay, so you had the cardio. I've always had the cardio like aspect too from when I played baseball, because they always did conditioning and stuff like that. But yeah, like at some point in my early college days, because it's not easy to do. Like dude, running is like sometimes it's annoying as shit. And like doing the swimming stuff now, like that's annoying as fuck too, because I can't listen to music and shit. I'm fucking in a pool.
That's why I tried to do it without music, because I tried to challenge myself to do it like as worst as possible. No music in the worst. I try to do also like in the middle of the day sometimes, or very early in the morning, just because I know it's like the hardest point of the day. If you can make through that, when I do it again, it's not gonna be as bad. Worse,
I think I don't know about that. I don't know if I keep my headphones when I run. But like it's fun because like when you're doing all this stuff, and what I've realized is that not only does it make you a better athlete, but it also like improves your mind a little bit too. Because I've noticed that like my workouts have also gotten better. Like when I'm doing like this type of training, when I push myself harder in other areas, like when I was doing a lot of boxing training early last year, along with the powerlifting stuff, like my general workouts just got better. I don't know about you. It could make you more tired, but for me, like my workouts have just gotten more efficient. I've gotten better at, doing the things that I have to do, in terms of like, training everything once a week, twice a week. But I haven't done any of the swimming and biking stuff up until I met Mike. And we started doing the running stuff. But I've been running since November last year, because I want to do a marathon too this year. And ever since like November, late December last year, like my workouts have just gotten a lot better just by doing this type of training.
No, 100%. First you get more mobile, just because you're doing more movement to the hips and the legs. You utilizing other type of energy that your body needs that probably was not used to when you were only like lifting weights. That all paid off also on the weights. Yeah,
you turn your body into like a machine, and like obviously like if you want to maximize building muscle, like running and shit, long-term cardio is not like, we're not going to be our biggest doing this stuff. Like we're not going to be the biggest we can, but we sacrifice a little muscle. But you also I think you get a lot more out of the little bit of muscle you lose, because if you eat right and you sleep a certain amount of time, and you supplement properly, like you won't lose that much muscle. Like Nick Bear's pretty jacked. I'm using them because I don't really know any other fucking
somebody that do both, like lifting,
like hybrid athletes, like you're saying.
Athletes, I know. I think we're gonna be good, man. Like as long as we eating enough, through the day, we still lifting. I still try to lift like 3 times a week. So we should be good. We shouldn't be sacrificing too much muscle. We're gonna stay active. And stuff.
Yeah, and honestly, like you'll probably see, and that's the thing. Another thing cool about this is you start to incorporate muscles that you don't really train when you don't run or you don't bike or you swim. So you might even start seeing some more development in other areas. Like my friend was telling me, he's like, dude, like my friend, he's kind of into working out. The kid I was telling you about that swims a lot. He's like, when I was swimming, he's like, I don't really care about how my body looks, but like my fucking shoulders and traps were like crazy. Like they were like, I was getting veins and shit. It's just because at some point your body starts using muscles, and when you start fatiguing, it starts to tap into other muscle cells and incorporating different body parts to compensate for that. So you start to develop other muscle groups that you've never even tapped before because you haven't had to, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, swimming is such particular different. Nobody move the body if it's not swimming. Nobody move it like a swimmer. You never get to do those moving patterns, and for sure involving that to the routine. I think it's something that everybody should do.
Yeah, 100%. And I like I said, I never swam before in my life, other than when I was a kid and when I fucking go to the beach and shit like that. But it's definitely something that like I'll pull out of my arsenal. And like there's other shit too. Like there's the rowing machines at the gym that people don't use a lot. Like you see them, I've used them before. They're great. There's like the little fucking ladder thing you can pull, and there's just so many different movements you can do. And this is something I try to tell people, and I'm sure you've try to talk to your clients, and because he actually trains people for a living, like just do different shit in terms of like your workouts, in terms of your mindset when you go into the gym. Like it shouldn't always be the same repetitive stuff.
Squats, bench press,
because in my opinion, like it gets a little bit boring, especially if you're a newbie and you've just got into the gym. Like it's good to have a set routine, but if you've been doing this for how long? You've been working out? More than 5 years, 10 years?
Yeah, 6 years. I mean, if we wanted to add the soccer and tennis, like it's gonna be pretty much all my life. But yeah, on the weight room, probably like about 6.
So like you know, at some point, you know, year 3 or 4, like it doesn't get boring, but it's just like you want to try new things, and a lot of people like will fall out during that time. Like I know a lot of people that will constantly be in and out of the gym after, you know, a year or 2 years because they're either bored or they just haven't found something that's interested them enough. But there's so many different things, like just with triathlon type of training, there's like 3 separate things you can do. You can bike, run, and swim, and then there's so much stuff you can do in the weight room. There's like mixed martial arts, there's jiu-jitsu, there's there's boxing, you go for hikes, you can surf, there's so much things you can do in terms of like physical activity that for me, it blows my mind that people say there's not an area that like they enjoy doing that much, you know?
Oh man, there is so many things to do. I mean, even from just like even walking. I mean, I think the body, if you just stick to one activity, the body's just gonna adapt. It's not gonna be a challenging for you anymore. So that's part of why you get bored. So if you can become an athlete of many things,
more power to you.
Go for it, yeah.
100%. I wanted to kind of transition the podcast, talk a little bit about you, bro, and your upbringing, because you definitely have an interesting upbringing in terms of where you were born and how you were raised and whatnot, and kind of pick your brain a little bit more about that stuff. So I know you were born in Venezuela, but you were raised here. Or no, you were born here. I'm sorry. Opposite. Born here, raised. He was born here, raised in Venezuela. That's what I meant to say. How was that like growing up and shit like that? And how was it? How did it impact your life?
Man, it's crazy. Like because being born here, you know, I feel like I always miss this place. Like I know I was born here, but I never. Like
how long did you live here?
So we basically left when I was like 3 years old. That was the last time that I was.
So you don't have any memories when you were?
I don't have no memories, no. But you know, I always have that little thing like, oh, I was born there. I wanna, you know, go and see like what it's like. You know, you always hear like being in Venezuela, all these, you know, great things about the United States, and you know, see the movies and stuff. So I always dream with being on here. Yeah. Basically, through all my life that I grew up there. So it was kind of hard in that aspect. But yeah, it was also a benefit when I came here, just because it's just like, okay, this is my moment. It's just the moment that my dreams came true. That just work for them. Little thing that I just wanted to come here, see what it is. You know, it felt like it was a part of me that I was missing, you know? Mm-hmm. So lived through all my life in Venezuela, came back like around 5 years ago, just because of the situation. I mean, I couldn't make a living on there. I was going to college, but I didn't see like no really a clear future for me, you know. moving away from my parents and living by my own. It was gonna be very hard, so we just basically took the decision to move here.
What do you think was difficult when you were over there? Just the life, because obviously, I mean, for people that don't know, like over there is communist, right?
Yeah, I know,
or like socialist or whatever.
they will say it's democracy, but no, yeah, it's completely communist, socialist.
What is it like when you say communist country, like a lot of, or socialist, whatever? I think they're basically the same in terms of like dictatorship, because it's what's his name?
Maduro.
When you live in a place like that, like what is life like? Like is it really, you know? Because some people will say, oh, it's not too bad, it's not that bad, and then there's like the majority of people that are like, it's pretty bad, you know.
Man, it's pretty, but it's just stupid. Just because we saw a country that was, I mean, it was such a beautiful country. We have all the money on the world, all the resources, but we just saw it like every year, just progressively just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So we just kind of to adapt to that situation. Okay, some people, if that's the only thing that they have ever seen, it's gonna be, you know, like the normal. So it was always, oh, it's not too bad, it's not too bad, it's what we used to, you know.
Yeah.
So it's very restricted. Like it's very restricted. Find food is hard. Medical supply is hard to find as well. So it's kind of like that constant situation that your life is always getting a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse. So I think that was the hardest part for young people like you and me. You know, going out of college, like, you were not going to make enough money to, you know, move out and make a living for you.
And what do you mean by a little bit worse in terms of like food? Like you would struggle to get food every week?
Food-wise, the money didn't last enough, that kind of things. Yeah.
And is it to the point to where like if I want to go get like a steak, I'm unable to get a steak because I can't afford it, type of thing?
You won't afford it, and literally like, just because all the inflation issue, you can have a steak one day and the very next day it's gonna be the double of the price, something like that. Like, yeah, it's
wow. And things would fluctuate that quickly.
That quickly, bro. Like literally from a day and 3 days in a row.
it would never go down, only up.
Never, no, yeah, only
wow.
Up. Yeah.
And we're using steak as an example just because steak is like a food.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Was everything, like
man. Yeah.
And what was the mindset over there? Were people like, things are gonna get better, or were people like hey, this is just the way life is, type of thing?
So yeah, I was actually talking to my mom, to your mom. Like us Venezuelans, we always very optimistic. We want to think like things will always at a point will get better, but I mean, it's not realistic. You see it through the years, always a little bit worse, a little bit worse, and basically now we got to this point that everybody that like actually trying to make it of the future just left the country.
Yeah. So, and people that are left, I mean, do you have families over there or no?
Yeah, I have some family, like grandparents, uncles, for sure.
And they're just used to the life over there, I'm assuming.
They just used to the life over there. Right now, it got to a point that it's very hard to go out. Unfortunately, a lot of people in Venezuela, like bad people, have immigrated as well. So we don't have like a really good representation in some of the countries, especially Latin American countries that are like easier to immigrate, just because you could kind of like just walk.
I got you.
To the side.
So you're saying like they're stopping Venezuelan people from coming over there?
Yeah, exactly.
When you talk about like the difficulties of day-to-day life over there, is it a struggle for not only finances, but is it also dangerous for like your well-being?
Yeah, no, it's very dangerous. Just because it's the same situation. I mean, people that doesn't have the resources, so they're just trying to
steal and shit.
Yeah, like look away to, you know.
And you know, we know. I mean, you're familiar with this area, so there's like certain areas like Lake Worth and like Riviera Beach, for example. I'm not scared of those areas, but some people like would not want to go to like Tamarin Avenue and 45th Street. I don't have a problem with it, but was it like that type of where there was gang and stuff like that and violence, or was it like, you know, fucking free for all where it was like Iraq, like a war zone type of thing?
No, there is for sure some areas that are better than other ones. I would say you were never really any crime, and like all the areas, anything can happen. I mean, if you go to a very rich area, for sure, all the people that want to steal also go to that area as well.
And they'll like rob you and shit like that.
Yeah, man, yeah,
really?
Yeah, like, even like kidnap you and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
You ever experienced anything like that?
No, actually, no, not myself. Probably like somebody steal a phone from me or something like that. That minor thing, but yeah,
never anything crazy.
Yeah, no.
Any of your friends or family ever experienced something like that?
People that I know, not very close to me, but yeah, for sure, I know people that.
I mean, because like here, if me and you were to go walk around, like, have you heard of Tamarin Avenue before?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I might be stupid for saying this, but like, I'll walk around there. I feel like I wouldn't get killed. But is there certain areas in Venezuela that you're like, if you walk there, they'll kill you? Because
for sure, man, for sure there will be some areas.
Or at least fuck with you.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not as easy as to call the police. Like,
no, you cannot call the police, man. Yeah. There's not gonna be police.
And that's the thing my mom was telling me. Like, there's certain areas, and my dad too, in Vietnam and Peru. That's like, I mean, it's so poor, and there's just so much crime there that like the police won't even go. And this is back in the 90s, so I don't know how it is now, but I'm sure there's some areas it's still the same. But you don't go in those areas just because if you have trouble, like no one's gonna save you. So they rule that area themselves, like the gang leaders and people that are in that area committing crime. They run that area, so it doesn't matter. Law doesn't matter over there. Yeah, no,
there is even crazy just because you cannot count in the police. There is probably you can call somebody. Nobody's if. You're lucky if they're even gonna pick up the phone.
Really?
To that point.
Wow.
Just because everything dependent on it's government based. So pretty much everything in Venezuela, let's say just water supplies, electricity, everything, police, everything. Yeah. And the things have got so deteriorated. The government have just take so much money from all the aspects, so that they don't have the resources even.
Is it taxes, or they just take it like as like a, how we pay like Social Security and Medicare?
There is none of that over there.
So what do you do? You don't have the government writes you a paycheck?
No, they actually take all the mineral resources, gas and stuff. They just have to steal money from the selling from to other countries, the exportations and stuff. That's the way that they steal money from all the countries. But it's not Social Security. That's not the way that the government.
No, but I meant like, let's say I have a job over there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Let's say I work at a store. I'm like a clerk or whatever. Like, is the store paying me?
Oh no, the store is paying for sure.
They give you the paycheck and stuff like that, and then they take out taxes out of your paycheck.
No. That's what I was trying to say. There's nothing
so
like that.
How is it funded by the? You don't know. They just take it from the owners of the businesses, I'm assuming, or.
So they don't actually take money from the people per se, but all the transactions that they do with other country, like selling like resources from the country, and they just take the money from the sale instead of investing into the country. You see what I'm saying?
I got you. So like how we have infrastructure.
There's
social programs and stuff like that.
There's none of that.
No free. They don't have free healthcare or anything like that over there.
Man, it's so trash. Like there'll be, but there's no other resources because they don't have to put the money into the social.
Yeah. I see what you mean. I mean, a lot of people have complained about like Canada, for example. They're socialist, but they have like they have a decent society, but even there, like their medical system is like wait 40 days to like, be seen.
Man, that's my main issue with all the social programs. It sounds really good. Free healthcare for everybody, but the country never gonna go to that point that it's gonna be actually free for everybody to the point that you want. You want a quickie, you want to see if it's an emergency, you want it right away.
Yeah.
It's never gonna get to that point. It's always somebody that is gonna have the priority, or maybe the country doesn't have enough supplies to,
to sustain that.
To sustain it.
Interesting. What would you say you miss about Venezuela the most though?
For sure the people. The culture is a little different. We're very familiar. Like where I used to live, pretty much everybody knows each other. Yeah. Probably something similar goes around here. If you grew up here, like pretty much like everybody around Wellington and stuff.
Yeah.
But I for sure will say the people. But as I told you, bro, I always wanted to be here. So
you're happy you're here.
I'm happy here.
You lived there from, you said 4 years old to 20?
4 years old to 20. 20 is when I came.
Got you. And when you moved over here, what was that situation like? Because we've talked about it briefly, but like, what was it? You just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna come," or was it
basically, so basically, the year that I came, it was a very rough year for Venezuela. It was like a lot of political issues coming, a lot of people going to protest against the regime, the government. It was just all a mess. We took the decision. My dad came first than me. Probably stood here like for 2 months, and then I came. I kind of like rented a room close to him. Just was a decision that I took over a month. Bought the plane ticket and just come over here.
You didn't get a visa or anything like that?
No, I was born here, so I would just basically
Hey, forgot about that. No, and they didn't have any problems with you leaving?
No, What do you mean the country?
Venezuela.
Oh no, no. Just because I have my American passport, so just kind of like buying the ticket and just.
Oh wow, that's
right away.
That's a good. You would you say you're lucky?
Man, I actually feel very lucky, but just because I feel like it's my story. It's just like any immigrant story, but kind of like an immigrant in my own country. So it gave me that advantage, just having the legal paperwork and stuff that not many people actually do. That immigrate here.
I mean, I would say that you got blessed that you were born here, because if not, how would it? Are you even able to come here?
No, I know some people that have done it, but it's just so much paperwork. You're always in a situation that you never know if they're gonna kick you out and stuff. Yeah. Some people have made it, but it wouldn't have been that easy for me for my family. I came here, I request them. We took some years to do some legal paperwork, but they're finally here with me on legal status.
Your brother too, right?
Yeah, my brother as well. He was the last one to come, so
that's awesome. I remember seeing that. That's awesome, bro. I mean, I love hearing the stories. I wasn't an immigrant. My mom was immigrant. My dad was immigrant. I love hearing those stories because everyone's story is so different, and especially when you come from a place where there's pressure in terms of like what you're. Because I mean, some people move from different countries, but they didn't. They just moved because they wanted to move. But like your story and other people, like my mom's story, like there's political pressure, there's pressure from the government, and I'm sure there's like militias and shit like that over there, right? Like they try to.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, a group of people that just have.
What do they call them?
There's probably a lot. Like I'm trying to remember, man. I will say it if it comes to my mind, but yeah.
But like, are those the ones that protest against the government, or they're like?
No, the ones that protest against the government is just regular people. I even I went to protest and stuff. I received like pepper gas and stuff. Yeah, that was crazy.
They kill people during that stuff?
They have killed people during that stuff. A lot of people.
That's crazy. Yeah. But the groups, they would fight against the people, right?
Yes. That's the name that I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. It doesn't come to my mind.
No, my mom used to tell me about in the 90s and before she left Peru, there was like terrorist groups out there.
Yeah, terrorist groups just hired by the same government just to go against the people. Of course, they're not going to say the National Guard to just go and kill the people, but they just hire these little groups. They arm them.
Yeah, kind of like over here. Yeah, like, exactly. That's it's interesting because over there, like they can get away with that stuff, and you can't really say much about it. I mean, you can because you're here and stuff like that, but like if you're over there, from what I've heard in countries like that, like you can't really talk out too much because if you
there's just nobody that you will hear, man. Like there's some people that actually just go and pull these claims and stuff, but there's nobody here.
They disappear.
Some of them for sure.
I mean, I saw the video. You saw those videos in Cuba where people were getting like dragged out of their houses and shit like that during a couple months ago.
Yeah. I saw them all.
And it's sad because like, I mean, bro, that's why we get along so well, is because we're both, I don't know if you've realized this, but when I talk to Latino people, I get along with them instantly.
Oh yeah, no man. Yeah,
just because the culture and the communication and the same type of attitude we have towards things.
No, just said you have some type of respect, some type of admiration to all these kind of stories, people that have immigrated, people that have grew up in those kind of situation.
And I feel bad. I was gonna say is I feel bad for like seeing like, because I'm Peruvian, but I think anybody Latino, anybody Asian, and no disrespect to anyone other races, but like I see that as my people, even if they're not Vietnamese, even if they're not Peruvian, Mexican, whatever, like they're kind of my people because that's like we share the blood. And seeing like such great people and they like Cubans especially are always so happy, and I've met a lot of Cubans, great people, but like when you see them like fucking being dragged out of their houses and being beat up and shit like that, and just like you look at the houses over there and you look at the streets and it just looks like fucking someone went through with a bomb and just blew it up. And it's sad because I mean those people have so much to offer, and whether they come here and do it or in their own countries, like they have so much to offer. And Latino people, we've talked about this, are like some of the most hardworking people I've ever met. But it's sad to see like that shit turn to garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we just come from a place that we, from our countries, that we don't have the same amount of opportunities. We just come here and we just want to eat it all. Mm-hmm. Like every opportunity that they come across is just gonna go and do it. I think that's what our mindset is based on. But yeah, no, it's very sad, man. It's just all our countries is just strict. It's just governed by just few amount of people that makes it so so much worse, but for sure we have a lot to offer.
Yeah, I was like, it almost like these countries hold their people back a little bit, because like, I mean, even Peru, like a communist just won the elections. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But like, there's just like having a restriction on these people to like really innovate. And the reason why America works so well, and even like European countries, and even like some like China and stuff like that, even though their government's fucking crazy, is the reason why it works so well is because they like, they flourish, they want innovation, they want things to be great. And I feel like in Spanish country, for the most part, like they're still stuck in like old mindsets, like like dictatorship and shit like that, and just like, fucking just not having any type of structure.
Yeah, they just leave the fucking people alone, man. And do their own, grow. Nobody's gonna worry about your business, about your things in life, that your own self.
Exactly.
So by letting people free and and their own decisions and doing whatever they want to do with their money and stuff.
But the thing is the government just, I guess, I don't know what it is, but I've seen it, and that's sad, because other than like Africa, like South America is probably some of the least developed places in the world. America is pretty developed, Europe is pretty developed, Asia is developed, Middle East is, for some parts not, but I mean the Middle East has got tons of rich people with the oil and shit like that. Like Venezuela has the oil too, right? Like they have the ability, and they were very rich and
we had it all, bro. It was such an amazing country. It was like it was like America and Latin America. You see, the United States on Latin America. We had it all. We had the gas. We were so rich.
Gold too, right?
Gold, everything. So yeah, just as I told you, just like such a more little group of people that just want to control it all. Still bunch of money.
But it's great too, like, and not just looking at the negatives, like the positives, like seeing people like yourself, people like my mom, people all around us, like come here, and you really see it, because a lot of people that come from that immigrant background, there's some people that get involved in the wrong type of shit, but for the most part they do well for themselves. They do well enough to like continue on their family legacy. Like my parents, they when they moved here, they didn't have a lot of money. I know that you already you own a house, right?
Yeah, I have the fortune to buy a house.
Like, so you have, what is it? Sorry.
I have the fortune to buy a house. Yeah.
Okay, so like you have, just the fact that you've only been here for 5 years, you've built something for yourself. Like, very rarely do I see immigrants that move here that just waste their life. There is some, but there's not. For the ones that I know, if they're not rich, but they have, they have a house, they have, a steady job, and they always do well for themselves. And it's crazy because there's people that are born in this country and they don't even, they're on welfare, or they don't make, anything of themselves. They, are very, very lazy when it comes to success. And you would think that if you were born here, you would want to even be more successful. Like, to me, it's embarrassing. I would be embarrassed if I wasn't able to surpass my parents by like a lot, because they were born in a different country, come here, and they set themselves up for success. If I can't surpass their level by a lot in terms of like, not just money, and just in terms of reaching my goals, then I feel like a failure, but not a lot of people think that way. A lot of people are born here and they're just happy with what they have, and they don't strive for more. But like you said, the Spanish people especially, they come here, look for opportunity. They're, fucking 2 jobs. They're selling, they see the guys selling, this blew my mind. On Southern Boulevard, where City Place is?
Yep.
You turn onto the 95. There's a homeless guy, and he's a white dude, which most homeless people are, just being honest.
Yeah.
And then there's a Spanish lady. The white dude is asking for money, and there's a Spanish lady standing out there with a hat, and she's selling roses. And it's like, you see, you've seen that before, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, you never see a white, and I'm a quarter white, but I'm just saying, like, you never see. Let me just put it the way. You
never see the weight around. She's trying to sell you something. She's providing value to you.
Exactly.
But the other one is just she want to take the money. Asking for money.
You never see I've never seen a homeless person that's Spanish in my entire life, or Asian.
No.
I was always either a white
Asian,
dude.
no, for sure. Maybe a few Latinos.
But most homeless people, just to be honest with you, homeless people are either Caucasian or African American, and it's crazy because you see it. I mean, like, why have I never seen an Asian, homeless guy? Is because when Asians move here, what do they focus on? Education. They focus on futuring, getting better in their future success. When Latinos move here, some of them focus on education, but some of them focus on work. But they both focus on one thing, and that's putting effort towards something.
I think that's what marks the difference. Like, outside of the States, we see this place is like the place of opportunities. We have so many opportunities. You just need to get there.
Yeah. And then you're there.
Then you go, man.
And it doesn't
then you
matter
go
what
and
it
do
is.
everything. You can do from the most basic stuff and still make a living. You can clean. You can do any kind of job and still make a good living. Things that you were not able to do over there. You clean and having a really good living over there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was just gonna say that too. Like, you always think cleaning ladies always Spanish. You think like fucking guys that do like home improvement or construction, most of the time always Latino guys.
Yeah.
And they're always just there to put in the work. And that's what blows my mind, is that, I think eventually and hopefully as we grow as a society and as a world, more Latino guys and girls will rise up in terms of like professional success.
We're doing it already. We're trying
100%.
to,
I think so too. I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great because when you combine smart and hardworking, you get a lot of good results out of that.
100%.
And I'm trying to live that through myself. I'm not fully I'm not fully Latino, but I have that blood in me. So I feel the same love and the same type of passion for stuff. And like, you see they do all types of shit. My grandpa sold ice cream. My uncle did garden work.
We will do it all, man. We will do it all.
As long as you get paid, they're fucking doing it.
I didn't even do it myself. I was not always a personal trainer. I started like doing pizzas. I work in a pizzeria. I've been working in a maintenance community. So yeah, I was trying to make it just in anything that will give me money and that sustain me, and just start growing slowly by then.
Exactly.
And try to do the things that I want.
And when you don't have a lot, it makes you hungrier.
Yes. Yes.
When you're full, when you're eating every day, you stay full. You're never.
It's
hungry.
funny, man. I came with nothing, man, and that didn't even matter. I knew I was gonna make it somehow.
Yeah.
I literally came with $8 on my bucket, bro.
We're at $8.
$8
In your bank account.
In my pocket.
You
like
didn't have a bank account?
I didn't even have a bank account, man.
Did you have any family over here or no family?
My dad that just came like 2 months before me.
Yeah.
He was doing even landscaping work.
Yeah.
So, and he was living with his wife, just kind of like a little room. So I have to do a rental separate room.
Got you.
So they kind of like knew somebody and they rent me a room.
What was your first job?
A pizza maker.
That was a pizza?
Yeah.
Which one?
I was actually living in there, right? So it's called Bambini's Pizzeria.
You ever go back there?
I have gone back there.
Yeah, we should go back there. And eat some. We should bike.
It's a really good pizza, bro. And they have like even like a zoo back in on the pizza place. There are animals and stuff, birds.
Oh, zoo.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
like a little zoo, pigs and stuff.
Yeah, well, fuck it. We should ride our bikes down there. We should go.
Yeah.
And check it out. Delray Beach.
Delray Beach.
Interesting, bro. As we kind of close out the podcast, I just want to say thanks, bro, for coming on and having the conversation.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. Yeah.
We could fucking talk for hours, and I'm sure because like I said, we've known each other for, I don't know, ever since I've met you with Chase at the gym.
It was a while back, bro. Before COVID, even while back before COVID.
Yeah, probably 4 years, but we never really. I mean, like,
we have seen each other. Like, I really admire your job, bro. Like, for real, much respect. You're doing great. Like your podcast, I love everything, all the training that you do, and all the people that you bring over here. So I feel like we always have kind of like
good little connection.
A little connection. Talking to each other. Admire the work that we're doing.
Exactly, and I think that for the most part, like we have similar mindsets, and that's what's great. I mean, Chris. I introduced Chris to you. Chris has got a similar mindset, and it's just all about building like friends and a community, and especially the fact that we're all like have that kind of like common Latino. We're Latino men, and we're fucking trying to get after it. You have that immigrant mindset and that background. It means a lot to me because nowadays I find it hard to find people like ourselves. So it's tough to like when I find somebody that I really enjoy being around, and especially someone that can match my energy.
Exactly. That's very hard to find, bro. Yeah. People that actually find your energy. There's a lot of toxicity between people.
100%.
People trying to pull you off and stuff, or trying to take you.
Yeah,
things that they want to do.
We know what's up. I mean, you've been at it for a while, and that's another thing that I always tell people is like when you try to find and I talk about relationship stuff on like the Red Pill podcast lives I do, but like finding a girlfriend and finding someone that's good for you and staying away from toxic girls is important, but finding good friends is also very important too. I've been friends with people that have wasted my time, have wasted money of mine, have been talk behind your back and do act like children, but just as you're going to find a good girlfriend or a wife or whatever, it's also very important for me to find good friends, and 100%. Like just the fact that you're down to do shit like training for a triathlon, it means a lot because I don't have a lot of people that can do that shit.
And I think if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be doing this close of a marathon, triathlon already.
You do the sprint?
I think I'll be doing a sprint and not even in March. So it's kind of like you just talking through the text. You just, bro, this is the one coming up and stuff. This is the closest one that we can make. It's you just say yes. I was just like, fuck it, you know.
Honestly, I would like to. I would have liked to do it in like April or May, but then we don't have a choice at this point.
Yeah.
And I think the sprint, as much as like sprints are great, I think it's just a little bit too easy for me.
Yeah,
it's not much of a challenge.
Let's go for more, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like
challenge.
I was even considering like trying to do a marathon for the Boston Marathon in April, but that's a little bit too soon.
Marathon is hard.
And
but we for sure will do it.
No, I think for the most part, this is a great stepping stone. I had a friend of mine too who did. He does a lot of like. He does more marathon running type of stuff, but he did a sprint last year for triathlon, and he said like, dude, you're starting in a good spot. Like you'll really enjoy it, and once you start to get and like you said, it's not really about each individual thing. For me, the swimming is going to be hard, but it's more about staying consistent for 4 hours straight. Yeah. And that's what he was telling me exactly too. I was going to say that is that he was saying like once you get to that point to where you can run for 4 hours or run for 5 or 6 hours. Like it's not really the pain; it's more about just keeping yourself paced.
And the mindset you said.
Exactly.
Yeah. Do you have a time goal that you want to complete it on?
This one?
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to do. I think you're gonna. This I was gonna say too is I think you're gonna beat me by like.
I wanted to ask you. Like, did you feel like there is some competitive aspect between each other? Like you wanna? You trying to win? You trying to win?
Honestly, bro, I'm just trying to finish. I think you're gonna crush me on the swim. To be honest with you, like the run is very easy for me.
Okay.
Like I honestly want to see how fast I can run the 5K when next time I run.
Okay.
Or 10K, whatever it's called. Because like I said, I've been doing running for a while. The bike, when I got on the bike 2 days ago, like doing 8 miles was. Bro, for me, the bike feels like if it doesn't hurt, it feels good.
It feels good.
Bro, like it feels like really nice. Yeah. It feels like my legs loosen up. I feel like the only thing is kind of annoying is the seat, obviously, and the fact you got to be like.
Bro, it's gonna be first time that I'm gonna buy like that.
Really?
Just like the incline stuff.
My hands hurt because when I put pressure on the handlebars, it hurts. Not hurts, but it's just uncomfortable. But like my legs, dude. Like I have really tight hips. But when I got off the bike yesterday, I rode it, or 2 days ago, whenever I did it, I felt great.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is, I think the swim. But I think you're, and I'm gonna knock on wood. Hopefully, I get better. I know I'll get better.
You will, bro.
We have
them on. We have them on.
I think the swim is gonna, if you're gonna beat me in the swim for like at least 20 minutes probably, and then I'll have to catch up on the bike. But I think we'll probably be around the same thing. If I'm with you at the end, bro, like I'll stay with you. I'm not trying to like fucking.
No worries, man. Bro, it's the same for me. We're in this together. We're training together. It's gonna be the first one.
Yeah.
Eventually, if we do a second one, I'll probably want to try to race you. But yeah, for sure, this first triathlon is gonna be about making it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm just trying to do. I'm just trying to make it. Once I get past the swim, I'm gonna. I mean, when we get to the run, like I'm gonna give it my all. But if you're like way ahead of me or whatever, like I'll fucking just whatever. But if we're together, I'll run with you. But I think realistically, I think 4 hours is gonna be good. Yeah. I think the swim is gonna take me at least an hour and a half.
I want to try to see if I'll feel really good if I make it at 3 hours.
Really?
A little less.
I think
it'll feel really good.
I think 25 miles an hour is like really good for biking. So that's what I've heard. I've heard like 17 to 18 is like average. So I mean, of course, if we can do the bike, I think I could do the bike in fucking 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
But I have a feeling that after that swim, bro, I'm gonna be fucking tired. But
we need to practice the transitions.
Exactly.
Some people say that it's kind of like feel weird.
I'm estimating the swim is going to take me an hour.
An hour.
Like that's being optimistic. But who knows? I might get it soon. I think the swim will take me an hour. I think the bike will take me an hour and a half. And I think the run will take me another hour. Maybe an hour and 15. Yeah. Because by the time you get to the run, you'll be a little tired. Yeah. I mean, but the runs we've been doing them under an hour.
Yeah, 100% in over 6 miles always.
And it's not, I mean, I'm not that tired after. What do you think? What do you think is going to be your swim?
What is it? What
do you think your numbers are going to be for the swim and whatnot?
Okay, for the swim, I'll try to make it 50 minutes. 50 minutes. The bike, I haven't really tried the bike that same distance, so I'll probably have to calculate the bike still. But around the same number, probably an hour and 15.
I mean, if you do everything, if you do a 50-minute swim, hour and 10-minute bike, and then an hour run, like that's 3 hours.
Yeah. I'll try to get the run. It's gonna be hard, but 50 minutes.
Yeah. I think the run for me is going to be the easiest. The bike is probably going to be the second hardest, and then the swim is going to be the hardest. So I'm going to be tapering off, but we'll see. I mean, I'm excited, bro. It's going to be fun. And then once we do this one, like I want to. Once you master one, I feel like if you continue to keep training, you'll be able to do.
We for sure should be keeping the training.
Yeah, try to do another one.
Yeah,
it's like anything else in life. Once you get over the leap, like when I hit, I think it was. What was it, 225 when I was like 16 years old in high school. Like ever since then, you never go back. So it's never like you can do less. You could always hit that. So once I hit this as like as our like starting line, just continue on. Yep. But anyways, bro, I appreciate you having on. It was fucking a blast. Always a good time talking to you, bro. I'm excited to train. Stay tuned. We'll try to get some videos of our training and stuff like that. And for the triathlon day, for sure, we'll have people out there and taking pictures and stuff. So we only got like 5 weeks left. Be training how many days you training a week? I'm doing like 3 or 4.
Yeah. I'm basically trying to get 3, 4 on Saturdays that I do with you, and as much as again some weightlifting. Once a week, twice a week, yeah.
I'm trying to
the schedule is very.
I'm trying to do like weights Monday through Thursday with one. Like I did I did a run the other day. I think it was Wednesday. I ran Wednesday, or let's say Thursday, Tuesday I ran. I'm trying to do weights the beginning part of the week, and then towards the end of the week, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like
that's a good approach.
Tomorrow I'm gonna run and bike. Saturday we're gonna run and bike, and then Sunday hopefully we can swim too. Yeah. And I might swim tomorrow too. I might do a sprint tomorrow. Good. That's what I was thinking about doing. So we'll see. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to go check out Mike on Instagram. What is it? Mike's Workouts. Mike's Workouts. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for some different type of training. Buff Talk. Talk to you guys later.
Hey guys, thank you guys for checking out this video. Make sure to go check out all of our other podcasts. Buffalo barbecues, our Buffalo workouts, and also a slew of other things, including challenges and whatnot. So make sure to check out all of these different things. Thank you guys for watching. I am Old School Matt here, and this is Water Buffalo TM. Peace.